All right, boom. So, Sports posted this. Um, Look, the Oklahoma City Thunder, no, they need the Pacers. Um, and I think it should say 15 there for. No, no, okay, clutch time. I guess yeah, I guess clutch time would be 14. But I know he had 15 points in the fourth quarter. Pacers had 7 in clutch time, which is if you know what clutch time is, it's 5 minutes or less left. 5 minutes or less left in the fourth quarter is considered clutch time. So once there's a 5 minute mark in the fourth quarter, anything at the 5:00 mark or less is considered clutch time. So I thought the reason why OKC won this game and is going to win this series is because of SGA. Now he wasn't having the best game. He was deferring. Even uh, Kenny. Uh, he was on Twitter talking about is he okay? I was wondering the same thing. Is he sick? It was like, oh, he's not getting free throw tonight. I think he's sick. He was just deferring. He looked tired. The team looked tired. And what great players do, no matter what kind of game they're having in the fourth quarter, it's time to win games. They're gonna win them. Second half, fourth quarter, it's time to win them. They're gonna win them. That's flat out what SGA did. I admitted, I haven't come out and admitted, but I was wrong about OKC, and I had some people around me that kind of influenced me a different way. But you know, I kind of go back to the thinking I was having last season, where this is the best team in the NBA. I think with Caruso at 20 points today, Jalen Williams had a big 27. I think he was 11 for 11 from the free throw line. I thought he was massive tonight. SJ was SGA. I thought Chet was massive in the fourth quarter, just getting put back dunks, easy points. Even Caruso talked about in the post game show. I think the best team in the NBA. I think this was a series for Indiana. I think the series is over for Indiana. I think it's too much. I think you're gonna get Game Five in OKC. I think OKC is gonna win that. And then it's gonna come out of Game Six. And even if they win Game Six, you're gonna go Game Seven. And like I said about Halliburton, I just feel like he's just not at that level yet for them to win a championship. Like he's just not at that level. He just can't take games over. He can't do what SG guys like SGA can do. So that's my whole thing with that. I do think they're winning the series because of SG, and I think any appraisal will lose because of Halliburton going up and down. I mean, he hasn't had a superstar game the whole series. Even when he hit the buzzer beater, he had what 14 points, and I know it's bigger than the points, but at the end of the game, it's about a bucket. And SJ got him, Jalen Williams got him, and Tyrese Halliburton did it. And I think it comes down to the same problem is like Caruso and Dort. I thought they were just phenomenal. I just thought the Thunder defense was too good. Nemhard couldn't get a shot. Couldn't get. I mean, they harassed Nemhard. They harassed Halliburton. Then you have Shet and Hartenstein rim protecting, whether they're both in the game or just one of them. It was just too much. Tried to get out the SJ. I thought SJ he blocked one of Halliburton's threes, and then Halliburton's 3 point jump, his jump shot too. I think is a little funny, and I just don't know his style of basketball with the way he shoots the ball. Will it ever work? Is my question, because that is not a regular shot, and as I've seen plenty of times before, it's a very that shot, his jump shot is very funky to the point where it gets blocked more than you would think. So like Halliburton can't just jump up and shoot a 3 pointer over somebody, or it's gonna get blocked. Like I've seen a good amount of times this playoff run where he's got his 3 point shot blocked or deflected. So that's my next thing too is can that jump shot actually win you a championship? I say something about Luka and that kind of stuff in a different way though. But yeah, I don't think they win an NBA championship. I think it'll be because of Harry's Halliburton. You got to be the game's about a bucket, especially the fourth quarter. I get the assist and all that stuff, but when it comes down to it, they went to ISO and you got your stuff clamped, and SGA didn't. So now he wasn't going against Jordan Caruso, but hey, we're this to the finals, the best of the best, and he handled business, you didn't. So I think this is why he's the MVP. I looked at it, I said, man, this guy's an MVP, and I saw why. But I was like, if he's MVP, he's gonna show up in the fourth quarter. This is why. That's why he's walking out this building smiling because he knows he just won an NBA championship and he just won a Finals MVP. So um, I gotta give them credit. I gotta give Diamond credit. I think them Oklahoma City don't win an NBA championship. I guarantee the Oklahoma City don't win an NBA championship. They're gonna win Game Five, potentially lose Game Six. I guess they're losing Game Six, but it's gonna end up like Denver, like somebody said. We're gonna just gonna if it goes to Game Seven, it's gonna be too much. They're just gonna wear out this thing. Maybe if it was back in the day when there was a series of the best of what was it, best of three or whatever, best of five, or it was like I don't know, whatever. When they played, uh, it was best of five series. Um, I think I don't know what they call best of seven. It's whatever. It was a 5 game series pretty much, or whatever. You get what I'm saying. Back in the day, back in my day, it used to be you got 5 games, and so if obviously if you split 2 games, you gotta have a fifth one to kind of even it out. So back maybe then the OKC could have been more beatable, but they're just gonna wear you out too much with their defensive game plan. I think they're gonna end up wearing out Indiana. So especially if it goes to a Game 7. Now I don't know about other games, but game 7 I think they definitely were out Indiana, and OKC has this wrapped up, man. Even if they don't win Game 6, they could literally just. If I was, I might not like. I would, and honestly, if I was them, I wouldn't even try to win games. I'd want to just go back home and try to win Game 7 right then and there. But obviously, this is a real player. I'm saying as a fan, they're gonna try to go win Game 6, obviously. But I think this series is over. I think this was the series for Indiana, and I said what was gonna happen, and it happened. And I had talking to some people behind the scenes. I knew that look, they just like Game 1 they lost, Game 2 OKC came back, Game 3 they lost, Game 4 OKC came back, Game 5 they're gonna win. Game 6 they might lose, and just like they're 6-0 when after a loss in the playoffs, they're gonna win again. So I just not concerned for Indiana. Um, I think Hurley Bird's going to develop into a superstar. He's just not that level yet. If he does, they can win an NBA championship. But until then, they don't think they will be able to. Um, I think that's the first point. The thing I want to talk about too is I think SGA is getting too much blame. I know the whistle is favorable for him, and he gets a lot of calls that he shouldn't. But I'm looking at more at Adam Silver, and here's why. Let me see. Okay, here it is. It is on Basket News, Facebook, Reddit. I mean, it's everywhere. Let me see. The tells players soccer play by rest. It's on clutch points. So this is credible stuff. Uh, you know, clutch points was it? He's soccer player says that he said that to Shane Young of Forbes on X, formerly Twitter. His comment trace back to boom. So this is what he said. Just so people, oh, this is incredible. You can go look it up. You might not know there's an AI mode on Google, but so this is my problem. This is my problem. Everybody hates on SGA, but SGA don't blow the whistle. So I just can't blame SGA when he's doing what he knows. He's gaming in the game. So I think the problem with the NBA right now is a lot of fans are pushing it towards SGA, and there's nothing SGA can do. He's just gaming in the game. He's doing whatever's allowed. Like he's just trying to do whatever he can to win a game, and it's not his fault the refs are blowing a whistle. He don't control that. I think the problem is comments like this, dating of February 16th, or no, other things said February 15th. Either way, February 15th, 16th, 2025. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver on if he were a player for a day, I would stop complaining about officiating. So you want to know why SJ gets these calls? That's why. So I think what's upsetting me really and really getting me is and it's a new perspective for me. I've always been SGA blah blah. I think a lot of the SGA blame is just deflecting from who should really be getting the blame. Adam Silver, because who's really in control of officiating? It is GA. Don't matter what he do, he's never going to be in control of officiating. So it's never the player's fault. It's always it's always Adam Silver's. I think a lot of people are taking the blame that should be on Adam Silver and putting it on SGA. Why isn't it on the commissioner for not getting this crap under control? Why isn't it on the commissioner for saying, hey, when SGA, we need to stop letting these, we need to let up on that. Because he ain't the only one. Let's just be real. He ain't Trey Young, James Harden. A lot of people do it. I mean, you see it all the time. So let's just be real. I mean, let's just be honest. He ain't the only one. Now, is it more highlighted? Yes, but the reason why he can get away with it is because Adam Silver lets it. So I feel like anybody blaming SGA should blame Adam Silver first. Because who's in control of officiating? It ain't SGA, and he never has been. He never will be. It's just like it wasn't James Harden. They're just gaming the game, and you can't be mad at it. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Who runs the game? Adam Silver. So I think all this does, and that's the problem. My problem in the NBA is nobody was to call out Adam Silver. Everybody was to blame the players and the officials, but Adam Silver is the one that runs it all. He is a commissioner. He does nothing, and he makes ridiculous comments like, "I would stop complaining about officiating." He doesn't care. He's tanking the sport. He's destroying the sport, and nobody gives him blame. Why is the sport like nobody calls him out? Like nothing. Look, David Stern was racist. I get it, but dude, I mean, I've never seen a worse commissioner. Him and Rob Manfred have to be the two worst commissioners I've ever seen. And I'm young in life, only 19 years old. But I mean, dude, Rob Manfred is destroying the sport of baseball. And that's what this is going to become. is the NBA is going to become a postseason sport. What I mean by that is people only watch during the postseason and they catch up then, and that's not what you want your sport to be, because then you become a pastime. What does that mean? I put you on the background on my TV to pastime. That ain't where you want to be as a sport. You want to be the main thing. If people are putting you in the background, that ain't a good thing. If people aren't talking about you on weekends as a sport, that ain't a good thing. That's concerning to me, especially when it comes to the youth. If the youth aren't talking about you, that's really a concern. What I think about a sport is when people go to the lunchroom, when people are in the cafeteria, when they're at work, I want my sport to. When they talk about sports, I want it to be the top. I want my sport to be a main topic. When your sport starts becoming secondary, that's when it becomes a concern. Like when kids are going to the lunchroom, are they talking about NBA, or they talk? That's why I think about when I think about where's the game at. You know what I'm saying? Because in the lunch right now, nobody's talking about MLB baseball. Flat out, no one's talking about it. So that's why I know the sport of MLB baseball is dead, because they have no touch with the youth. MLB has no touch with the youth. Nobody in the youth talks about baseball. It's all a bunch of dads of 40, 30, 40 year olds, 50-year-olds, people that's been around for a long time, back when baseball was worth talking about. Nobody talk, not even the people don't talk about it. All people know is Shohei Ohtani, Aaron Judge, Tariq Scoble. I mean, nobody talks about the sport. So, like, that's my concern. That's how I know that sport's dying off. That's how I know Rod Manfred's killing it. And that's where the NBA is going to be, because guess what? You got Steph Curry, LeBron James, Kevin Durant. Those are the two biggest people to ever walk planet Earth. You won't see bigger names than those three guys on planet Earth. They're worldwide. They'll forever be worldwide names. Anywhere they go on the planet Earth, they draw a crowd. That's the best way I can describe it. They draw a crowd. They can go anywhere on planet Earth, they will be known. They could go to Mars and Jupiter, and the aliens gonna know them. That's how famous and big Steph Curry, LeBron James, and Kevin Durant are. And you got those guys in the playoffs, and your ratings are down. You got an MVP in the conference finals. You got an MVP of your league in the NBA finals, and you can't even get people to watch. That's embarrassing. So I just think a lot of this is going back to Adam Silver. I think a lot of the issues is nobody wants to call him out, and he's the one at the end of the day. As much as you don't like what happens in the NBA, he is the commissioner. He makes the decisions. It's on him. It's his sport, and it starts from the top. So what he does affects college, and then that trickles down to high school, and it just goes from there. So like it's just stupid. It is ridiculous, and he's destroying the sport of basketball. And pretty soon, basketball is going to become like football, because once Steph, LeBron, and KD retire, nobody's going to want to watch. It'll be a postseason sport. Nobody's going to want to watch. So I just find it a shame that he doesn't get the disrespect, and he doesn't get the not disrespect, but the he doesn't get the talk he deserves, and he just puts on the plate, and he doesn't take blame. Any man that really cared about the sport about to say, "Hey, I'm the commissioner. It ain't these guys' fault that they're getting these foul calls. It's on me for not getting my refs and making sure that we can get this out of the game. That's on me." But he don't step up as a man. All he cares about is some stupid All-Star game that nobody. If I'm in a sports league, I'm following. Even though I don't like Goodell, and a lot of people don't like Goodell, but he's. I mean, look. I don't like Goodell, but he just doesn't move as fast as you want to. But he does over time. He's very he's done better with adapting and trying to grow the game of football. I give him that. He's trying to make it global, and I do think football will pass basketball one day. At this rate, it definitely will. It's just Goodell he's doing little by little. Not as fast as a lot of people would want, but he's little by little, and he ain't the best, but he's getting it done. But I do think that, like, when you look at it, like, if you're just a real man, you're gonna come out here and say, "Hey, I've got to be better as a commissioner and work on with the officials and understand it. We need to get all this soft stuff out the game, and all this stuff that's going on with these players need to be out of the game." We've been complaining about it for years, and you never listen. So what are people gonna do? They're gonna stop watching. That's flat what it is. So when you don't give the fans what you want, they're gonna stop watching. And when you tell the fans and the players pretty much shut up and be quiet because I'm not changing officiating, you're gonna get what you're gonna get. You're gonna get low rated for finals. You're gonna get low rated games. Then they have people who don't want to watch you on weekends, who don't talk about you at the lunch table or in the break room. That's what you're gonna get. You're gonna be a sport that's forgotten about. And so if that's what Alistair wants to be, then he can be that. But that's where the sport's headed. It's ridiculous that nobody talks about it. He's the one that controls all this. He's the one that has it in his hands. You know what I'm saying? Like, and like I say, it starts from people. Oh, the AAU circuit, all this and that about high school. It starts from up top. It starts from up top. If we wanted American basketball to be better, it would start with Adam Silver and trying to do. Let me go with high school. We have high schools in America that still don't even have a shot clock. They could just hold the basketball for 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes, And we wonder why the world is passing over America in basketball. We wonder why. Shocker. We wonder why because they have simple rules like that. Like what idiot is like I just understand. I guess it just starts with Adam Silver. I mean, there's a million things we could talk about what's wrong with American basketball outside of just the NBA and the actual starting in high school and going to college. And everybody could tell you that, and everybody wants to, but like I say, what do they say? When something's rotten or it starts from the inside, and Adam Silver, he's rotten. He looks rotten, he smells rotten, he is rotten. You know what I'm saying? If somebody shows you who they are, if somebody tells you who they are, believe him. He's showing us who he is. He doesn't give a damn. So it doesn't matter to him. This stuff doesn't matter to him. This game of basketball means more to the fans and the players than it does to him. And that's a sad part because the best way I can describe it is this is what it looks like when somebody who doesn't love the sport is a commissioner. And I think the same thing from Rob Manfred. Because I'm sorry, but they got to do a better job behind these commissioners. And there needs to be more of a hey, we can still remove you if you don't do your job at a high level. Because I think him and Rob Manfred, they don't love the sport. They just don't care because you're not bettering it. And it's not just at the pro level, it's at the college level and the high school level. You're not bettering the sport. You're not doing anything to help better the sport. So I just think this is what it looks like on people who commission the sport, just like in politics. The same problem this country has is putting people in power who just don't care. They don't give a damn. They could care less. And so that's why you see the results you're gonna get. And he doesn't care. So until NBA decides to start giving him heat and start putting pressure on him, which is NBA fans need to do, it's gonna continue to be the same result. And it's a shame because he's killing the sport of basketball. He's not doing anything about it. It didn't mean anything to Adam Silver. The sport doesn't mean anything to him. It doesn't care. It doesn't matter. I mean, look at him. He didn't look like he played sports. I mean, he never seen the inside of a gym. You know what I'm saying? So like, I think that's a good step. Stop hiring guys that look like they've been behind a computer their whole life. He looks like he'd work in the IT department. Let's stop hiring guys like that. Yeah, that's a good start, but it's just ridiculous, and I just think it's sad. This is what it's come to, and I just think it's really concerning when you have commissioners like this. But it is what it is. I think he's destroying the sport of basketball from top to bottom. It starts on the inside, and he's rotten. So and so I just gotta leave it at that. But it really is sad what's happening because sports like baseball and basketball, who if they had the right people in power, could really be sports that are elevating still and be sports that people talk about in the same way they talk about the NFL. By the way, the NFL is dominant. I mean, there's no sport in America that can touch the NFL right now. It's not even close. And it's so embarrassing because what did LeBron? Oh, well, the NBA owns Christmas. No, you don't. The NFL, he said Christmas. I think it was Christmas, right? Yeah, because NFL used to have Thanksgiving and NBA would have Christmas. No, you don't. And NFL went and took Christmas from you. So now NFL has Thanksgiving and they have Christmas in America. How embarrassing! They took your own holiday from you. Everybody knows that Christmas is for NBA basketball, and you know what Roger Goodell said? You know what? Show me it's for NBA basketball. I'm gonna put games on in Christmas, and we're gonna see who does better. And he crushed a Roger Goodell in the NBA. Not even close. And made LeBron look like a dummy. LeBron, oh, we run at Christmas. Good. The ratings come out. 15, 16, 20 million, 2, 3 million watch. And mind you, Steph Curry and LeBron are playing on Christmas. So it wasn't like it was some sleazy team. It was two big names. And they still could put, 2, 3, 4, 5 million? NFL pulling 20-something million, 20-something million people? So it's just like they took your own holiday from you. So now they have Thanksgiving and Christmas. It's not even close. He's getting crushed. So I just think, that's really concerning when your own holiday that everybody looks forward to the NBA and Christmas, and then the NFL just comes and kind of just craps on you and just takes it from you like that. I think that's when you have to really get concerned. Like I said, they're going to become the new baseball, especially after LeBron, Steph, and KD retire. And that's really concerning for me because there's a lot of good talent. A lot of these dudes work really hard, and they don't deserve to have their abilities wasted. And the sport could be really entertaining if it was handled by the right people. And I just hope that Adam Silver can really turn around and look himself in the mirror and really get this thing in the right direction, going in the right direction. And it starts with officiating because people they're showing you they're just not gonna watch. So like people like me, the diehards will watch, but people like they're just not gonna watch, and those are the people you want. So like I say, when I'm thinking about people in the cafeteria at school or in the break room, are they talking about your sport? And if they are, in what way are they talking about it? Because right now, the NBA ain't being talked about very well. Flat out. Because when your MVP is known as, oh, well, he just gets fouled and goes to the free throw line and he's not fun to watch and he's entertaining and he's in a conference finals, he's in the NBA finals, and your ratings are down, 8.8 million. Nobody watching you. I mean, I think there's regular season NFL games that get more views than that by far. So and I'm not even. And I mean, so it's just a problem. And people are not giving him. He needs the one that needs to be talked to, you know. And so that's my problem. That's my problem. Is no one's putting heat on him. It's like we always. It's like when we're talking about the death of basketball, why basketball's a dying sport. Nobody talks about Adam Silver, and it's just shocking to me because he's the one that runs all this. It's like I mean, was he Casper the Ghost? Like we just can't see him anymore? Is he John Cena? I don't understand. Like he's there, and all he cares about is a stupid All Star game. If you look at the NFL doesn't give two craps about an All Star game because they know no one's gonna really care like that. No one cares for an All Star game. Let's just be real. And the NFL knows that, so they stop caring about it. People care about the real games. So right, that and all pros, and the award show and that kind of stuff. But other than that, and that too, like I just, I asked this for another video, but or I have time, but I just find it really amazing, like when people talk about Kevin Durant. What's the most iconic thing about Kevin Durant? One of the most iconic things is his speech he had in 2014. I'm not sure when because I wasn't really watching back then. I was young, but with 2014, whenever he won his MVP, what did he say? Mama, I did this for you. Whatever he said, that iconic speech. What happened to going to the NBA having an award show? I just don't understand. Like I just don't. What is he? I don't understand. I just don't get it. Like why is there not a show where the players come out and they dress up and they have family and friends and then they announce all the awards on one night? Why is there? Why do we just like open my phone and this dude won MVP and like he goes on like a Zoom meeting and yeah, thank you, appreciate it so much. I don't understand why is it not an award show? There used to be an award show for NBA players. Correct me if I'm wrong, there used to be where they go up and they talk and they speak and you have iconic speeches like that. Which that's one of the most people talk about Kevin. That's something you type in "Mama, we made it," and you need to put Kevin Durant's name in it or whatever he said about Mama, and he's gonna pull up because it's iconic. And those things are iconic, and people want to see that. I want to see players and see them talk after they win the award. I want to see the suspense. Oh my gosh, here they are lined up right next to each other like they do the Heisman Award in college football, like they do in the NFL with Mahomes and them. They announce the award, even if they can't. Sometimes they can't be there, but whoever you can get there, hey, we'll do it. Like I said, I just don't understand. I really don't get it. I thought there's a long break between the conference finals and NBA finals. So I mean, perfect time. But like I said, I just don't understand that. Why take the allure away from the award show? Because now your award show has no alert. It's just, I opened my phone and this guy won MVP. Oh yeah, Shams tweeted this guy won MVP. It's just, what are we doing at this point? We don't even have an award show anymore. Like why? Where's the suspense? Where's the dress up? Where's the speeches? You know what I'm saying? Like we don't get to see any of that. It's just like, okay, I opened my phone on Instagram one day and this guy won Coach of the Year, and he goes on a Zoom meeting and talks about like it's just that you take that allure and the love and just what people love about sports and you just destroy it. And so I just think that's another thing too I don't understand. But look, there's a lot of things I don't understand about Adam Silver, and I don't even if he even gives a damn. So I mean, like like people like me, I don't think he really cares. So it is what it is. But yeah, that is gonna be it. Look, I gave my breakdown. I really just want to come in here and defend FGA and really just talk about who the real culprit is. And it's this guy right here, man. I just think he's the person destroying the sport. So, he's too caught up in All Star games. Look, everything only speaks at All Star events or whatever. But he's too caught up in All Star games and not about what really matters in the actual games because we don't give a damn about an All Star game. We care about the actual games like the one I just watched. That was a travesty. I mean, it's just foul after foul after foul. I mean, it's hard to watch. It's not entertaining. You know what I'm saying? It can be, but it's hard, man. It's hard. It's hard to watch it. It's hard to get people to watch it, and it's even harder to talk about it. So especially with a sport like that, it's just really sad what's happening. But we'll see what happens after the season if he decides to make any changes. If maybe this is enough for him. But as of right now, I mean, look, that comment was made February 16th, February 15th of 2025. So as of right now, I don't think he's really interested in changing the officiating that's happening. And so look, here's my thing, man. Like, if you're gonna try to blind eye to it, I don't feel bad for the results you're gonna get. I just feel bad for the sport and like I said, the dudes that work their behinds off to put on a great show, and it gets ruined by people like him. You know what I'm saying? And so it seems to be a common trend in this country where people in power are just not, they just don't care anymore, and they just don't have a love for what they do anymore, and it's trickling down into just the sports world and a lot of stuff. So I think he's one of them. I just don't think he cares about the sport of basketball. And like I said, I mean, like even just so many players are so vocal, like, man, we got to get American basketball back to what it needs to be, and he just doesn't care. Like, he doesn't even try to help. Like, okay, how can we get high school basketball with shot clocks? Like, that's the first start. Like, can we get shot clocks? Because there's no way in planet Earth we should be playing high school games with no shot clock or hold the ball. I mean, come on, like, it's just stupid. Like, I don't understand. But he's not even trying to help grow. Like that, if I'm commissioner, I'm thinking, okay, I'm starting at the top. I'm fixed officiating. Then I'm going to go to high school. Okay, we need shot clocks, 30 seconds every single, or whatever, 40 seconds in high school, every single state across America. If you want to get American basketball, boom, that's the first start. Because why you have a shot clock in college, you have a shot clock in the NBA. So why isn't why you should be getting kids prepared for that next level? That's my first question. Like I said, he just doesn't care. So for him, it doesn't mean nothing. So people like me, I care more than him. So it's a sad part. But like I said, we'll see what happens. It just comes down to will people start putting the blame on him, or they continue to just let him go, like as if he could do no wrong. Mind you, there is a ref who had called. If you know Tim Donahue, he rigged games for the NBA. He called Scott Foster 134 times over like a year span, and Scott Foster just officiated a game for the NBA Finals. So that's another thing that's off to me too. Why do you have officials that were caught making calls with a ref who was caught rigging games? Why is he still officiating in your league? Like, it's ridiculous. I just like and you wonder why people think the NBA is rigged. I don't know. Like I said, it has to be at this point because it's just ridiculous what goes on. It's ridiculous. I don't I just I think I understand why and what's going on, but it's just like what happened to be. Like I said, just people who in power who love what they want to do, and Adam Silver's is not one of those people. So I don't know what the NBA is going to do because I don't know how you get a commissioner out of his spot. I don't know how you unseat a commissioner. I really don't know that process, but if I'm the NBA, I think if I'm the owners and who knows who they care, they're billionaires, so they probably I don't know if they really give a damn, so that's the next thing too. But if I'm the players, man, if somebody and it starts with all these LeBrons and it starts with them, man. Like a lot of people, is who's gonna be a leader in the next generation and and do something about what's going on in the NBA. Because we all see the ratings, we all see it. We all see the levels at which the sport has dropped. But who's gonna call him out? Who's gonna say something like, "Hey, we need to put an end to this. I don't know how we're gonna fix it, but we need to fix it." I'm tired of just watching by. So who's gonna be the leader? That's my next question. Who's gonna be the leader of the NBA? Because everybody talks about how big and bad they are. When it's time to fix issues like this in the NBA, who's gonna be a leader? That's all I'm gonna say. So I'm gonna leave it at that, and yeah.